this mushroom and its toxin turns into rocket fuel inside your body. Another one makes your muscles start breaking down. And there's one that can peel the skin right off your hands and face just from a touch. These are the mushrooms you should avoid at all costs. Starting with a mushroom that consumes your muscles when you overdose it. The yellow knight looks harmless. With its golden yellow cap and firm body, it has been collected for centuries in parts of Europe, especially in Lithuania, Poland, and France. Families treated it as a seasonal delicacy. Even cookbooks listed it as safe. And for a long time, no one suspected anything was wrong. But then came the reports. In the 1990s and early 2000s, clusters of poisoning started to appear. Perfectly healthy people ate generous meals of yellow knights day after day and suddenly collapsed with heart problems and, in several cases, death. The culprit, a condition called rhabdomyolysis. That's a scientific way of saying your muscles begin to dissolve. Not just the muscles in your arms or legs, but every muscle in your body, even the most vital ones, your heart, and the muscles you need to breathe. What makes the yellow knight especially tricky is that it doesn't strike after a single meal. It builds up over time. You'd have to eat large amounts, around 800 grams, or several cups of cooked mushrooms every day for several days. That sounds extreme, but in places where this mushroom was part of local tradition, it was surprisingly common. In Lithuania, for example, eating piles of them in autumn was normal. This mushroom is dreadful. Even today, scientists don't know the exact chemical compound behind this effect. The poison remains something of a mystery. That makes it harder to predict who might be most at risk or whether some people are more sensitive than others. The yellow knight is a strange case in the mushroom world. It's not the fastest killer, and it won't send you into hallucinations. Instead, it's deceptive. It looks like food, tastes like food, and can even pass for food for days before revealing its true danger. That's exactly what makes it so deadly. Next up, we got a mushroom that turns its compound into rocket fuel when you eat it. At first glance, the false morel looks like a delicacy. Its wrinkled brain-like cap is oddly similar to the prized true morel, a mushroom chefs compare to steak for its flavor. They were sold at markets, cooked at home, and considered a seasonal treat. But beneath that reputation lies one of the most dangerous mistakes in mushroom foraging history. Despite its Latin name esculenta, which literally means edible, the false morel contains a toxin that can kill. This fungus is an absolute monster. The main danger is a chemical called gyromitrin. When you eat the mushroom, your body breaks this compound down into monomethylhydrazine, MMH. That's the very same substance once used as rocket fuel. Sounds absurd, but that's the truth. Once inside the body, MMH interferes with an important vitamin, B6. Without enough B6, your brain struggles to produce GABA, the neurotransmitter responsible for calming signals. Without GABA, the brain essentially loses its brakes. In the results, you'll get tremors, seizures, and potentially coma. The symptoms start deceptively mild. Within 6 to 12 hours, nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain appear. Soon after, dizziness and fatigue. If enough toxin has been absorbed, seizures follow, along with jaundice, kidney damage, and in some cases, death. During cooking, gyromitrin can evaporate into the air. Families in Finland have reported poisoning simply from inhaling the steam rising out of a pot of boiling mushrooms. Inhaling rocket fuel vapors in your kitchen is as bad as it sounds. The false morel remains one of the most contradictory mushrooms out there. Its very name, esculenta, means edible. It feels like a cruel joke. Next, we got my favorite mushroom from this list. Absolute masterclass. Podostroma cornu-dami, better known as fire coral, looks spectacular. With its bright red branches that resemble coral pulled straight from the ocean, it doesn't even look like a typical mushroom. Many people's first instinct is to touch it, maybe even pick it up for a closer look. That's a mistake that could cost you your life. The fire coral is one of the most toxic fungi ever discovered. Unlike other deadly mushrooms that require eating, this one is so dangerous that even touching it can cause poisoning. Its toxins are strong enough to be absorbed through the skin, meaning a casual brush with its red surface might already be too much. This mushroom contains trichothecene mycotoxins. These compounds block your cells from making proteins and DNA. That may sound technical, but think of it this way. Without proteins and DNA, Your body can't repair itself, can't grow, can't keep organs running. The effects are as horrific as they sound. People who ingested fire coral have reported a shocking symptom called lamellar desquamation. That's a medical way of saying the skin starts peeling off your hands, feet, and face. As the toxins continue to spread, more organs fail. Just 1 gram of this fungus is enough to kill an adult. Cases have mostly been reported in Japan and Korea, where fire coral grows in forests. The symptoms are cruel. Within hours, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea appear. Soon after, skin peeling, hair loss, and multiple organ failure set in. Once the toxins are in your system, there's no specific antidote. Doctors can only try to manage symptoms, antibiotics, blood transfusions, fluids, while the body fights for survival. Survival rates are really, really low. This mushroom has elegant presence. It doesn't look threatening. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't even pretend to be food. It just sits there. Now let's talk about a mushroom that kills so many people. Our civilization is currently trying to invent a cure for it. The deadly webcap doesn't look intimidating. It has a plain brown cap, a thin stem, and blends into the forest floor among leaves and pine needles. It seems boring, but that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. This mushroom is one of the most toxic species in Europe. People don't usually eat them by accident. They eat them because they mistake them for chanterelles, a beloved edible mushroom. This is a quiet killer. The toxin in the deadly webcap is called orellanine, and it works differently from most other mushroom poisons. Instead of attacking the liver or muscles, it specifically targets the kidneys. Once ingested, orellanine floods the body with reactive oxygen molecules, so-called free radicals. Symptoms don't appear right away. In fact, they may take 2 days to 3 weeks to show up. At first, a person might feel nothing at all, even after eating a fatal dose. Only later do nausea, thirst, headaches, and kidney pain emerge. By then, the damage is already done. Many patients arrive at the hospital when their kidneys are already half dead. Even with modern medicine, you'll most likely need a kidney transplant to survive. This mushroom is horrifying. There's no bright warning color, and they taste good. It doesn't announce itself with immediate nausea or vivid hallucinations. Instead, it lies in wait, delivering poison that takes days or weeks to reveal itself, by which time the kidneys are beyond repair. Finally, the last one, a mushroom Europeans have eaten for thousands of years, with some still eating it without knowing how bad the consequences might be. Amanita muscaria, it's the classic mushroom of fairy tales, video games, and Christmas cards. It looks magical, playful, even edible. But beneath its iconic appearance lies a fungus that can seriously mess with your body and mind. The fly agaric has been known for centuries. In Northern Europe and Siberia, shamans once used it in rituals, seeking visions and altered states of consciousness. The danger lies in its chemical cocktail, ibotenic acid and muscimol. These compounds interfere with the brain's messaging system. Muscimol mimics GABA, the brain's main inhibitory neurotransmitter, turning the calm signals up far too high. Ibotenic acid, meanwhile, overstimulates glutamate receptors. Together, they scramble communication in the nervous system. The results can be unpredictable. Within 1 to 2 hours of eating the mushroom, nausea and vomiting often begin. Then the brain effects kick in, confusion, dizziness, and a dreamlike state. Some people experience vivid hallucinations, distorted sense of time, or feelings of floating. In severe cases, seizures, coma, or even death follow. Children are especially vulnerable since their smaller bodies can't handle the toxins. Fatalities are relatively rare, but they happen. A single report tells of a man who died after eating just 5 dried caps. More often, patients survive but go through hours of terrifying symptoms. Despite the risks, Amanita muscaria is like an alcohol. It has a unique place in human culture. Some researchers believe its use inspired ancient myths about flying reindeer, which later fed into Christmas traditions. Artists across centuries have painted it as a symbol of magic and mystery. In modern times, it's the cartoon mushroom, appearing everywhere from Alice in Wonderland to Mario's power-ups. But folklore is misleading. Amanita muscaria is a deadly creature.